Hello everyone, I am back after a long 2-week break. It seems like forever since I last made a tutorial for you all, but we've all had COVID in our household. But we're all better now, so I am back and I'm bringing you a tutorial continuing on from a couple of weeks ago when I said I love bows that use minimum amounts of ribbon. So I'm continuing with that theme with this bow. So as you can see, it only uses 2 pieces of ribbon. And this is a double-sided ribbon. It's a gorgeous print, fries before guys, and it's also got a foil print on there as well, so it adds a little bit of shimmer. And on the other side, it's this lovely faded sort of denim look. And I got this double-sided ribbon from Twinkle Tail. I will link them in the description below. They've got an Etsy shop and also an Instagram. And they have all sorts of ribbon on there, mostly double-sided. If you haven't got double-sided ribbon, you can still make this bow, but you will need 4 pieces instead of 2. And what you will need to do is, using 2 pieces, you can pick pattern or 2 different colour plain. You will just need to line it. So say this was a plain white back, I would just use another plain piece of ribbon, the same length, place it on the back to make it double-sided. So for this one, obviously, I am using double-sided, so I only need 2 pieces. And these are 1.5 inch wide or 4 centimetre wide ribbon. And the 2 pieces are cut to 20 centimetres in length or just short of 8 inches. And like I said, I'm using just 2 pieces. If you haven't got double-sided, you will need 4 pieces at 20 centimetres and just double the ribbon up. If you're using a pattern, I will also talk you through how to get your pattern the correct way up in this bow. Now, as you can see, this pattern is kind of a multi-print, so you can have it this way or this way. But if you're using a print ribbon which needs to be a certain way up, you will need to make one with the ribbon the correct way up, and then the other one you will flip it upside down. So this one will have the bottom of the pattern here, and this one will have the bottom of the pattern at the bottom. And now we need to measure in 2 centimetres from the right hand side. So this piece, imagine my pattern has to be a certain way up. My pattern will be the correct way up now with the bottom here, and measure 2 centimetres in from this right hand side and pop a pin in there. And then imagine this one is a pattern which requires to be a certain way up. This one you will have your pattern upside down, so the bottom of the pattern will be at the top. And again, measure in 2 centimetres from this right hand side and just mark that again with a pin. Also, you need to heat seal the ends of your ribbon. I should have done that first, but it don't matter, we'll do that now. You must always heat seal any raw ends of ribbon, and this will prevent any fraying and get rid of any stray bits of fray that are on there already. Grabbing another couple of pins, we're going to find the centre now, but we're not going to fold it completely in half, just fold it in half to the pin and then pop the pin in at that centre mark. The same with the second piece, so folding it up to the pin, marking the centre if you like. It's not actually the centre, like I said, it's the centre of between here and the end. So this is what we've got now. We've got the 2 pins marked on both pieces. Taking this top piece now, we're going to fold this down diagonally up to this middle pin. So folding it down towards you, towards the left. So this piece is straight down in line with the centre pin. And then you're going to fold it inwards, making sure the pin is at the edge and this piece here is straight in line with this piece here. So it looks like this. And then this bottom piece now, which has got the pin in at the 2 centimetre mark, we're going to bring this up and line it up where the pin is. And then this piece now coming out from the left, you're going to fold that piece back. Again, line this raw edge up. So all of the edges are square and in line. And then grabbing one of my fabric clips, I'm just going to pop that on there to hold it in place. So this is what we've got now. And now we're going to do the same with the other piece. Remember, if you've got a pattern, this will be the piece with the pattern upside down. Holding it the same way with the 2 centimetre pin on the right. Bring this right side and fold it down diagonally, making sure this is straight down in line with the middle pin. Folding it inwards, making sure this piece is straight and in line with this piece coming out, like that. Bringing this bottom piece down where you've got that 2 centimetre pin in, fold it up, lining the pin up with that top end. And then this piece coming out to the right, we're going to fold that back and line this raw edge up with the other edges. Grabbing my second fabric clip, I'm going to clip those all in place. So this is what we've got now, 2 pieces the same, but the patterns you'll find will be opposite way up, because when you flip this over to join these together, both your patterns will then be the correct way up, but obviously with this ribbon it don't really matter. Now we're going to cut these little overhang pieces. To do that, you're going to cut it from this, so this top flap, you've got this top corner flap here, the bottom you're going to cut, remove these pins because we don't need them now. We're going to cut from this bottom where this comes down diagonal, and we're going to cut up curved and diagonal to the top. So I'm using my Fiskars scissors, cutting diagonal up to the top corner and slightly curved to give it a soft finish, and then heat sealing that raw edge. Like that. The same with the other piece, so I'm going to remove these pins and again cut from where this top flap comes down diagonally, cut from this bottom corner up to the top corner. And heat seal the raw edge. So they look like this now. So I've got a needle here threaded with some strong thread, and I've got a knot in the end. Taken my first piece, we're going to sew down this piece here. So this is going to be the center of the bow. So where you've cut this diagonal, the bottom of the cut here, the shortest end, is where the bottom is. So across the bottom of this top flap, we're going to do 6 stitches. I'm going to do my first stitch where this overlaps this piece here and catch the bottom corner. So going through that end, catching all of those layers for my first stitch, pull it through to the knot, coming back up through for my second, third stitch, and then I'm going to keep this pinch together with my thumb and finger whilst I remove that clip, so I can come back up for my 4th stitch, 5th stitch, and the 6th one, catching all of those corners. Like that, and then I'm going to pull this tight to form the pinch. You'll find this pinch will be a lot thicker if you're using 2 lots of ribbon together doubled up, but because I'm using the double-sided ribbon and we've just got the single layer, it's not so thick in the middle. So that is another good thing about using the double-sided ribbon. So I've just gone through this end to seal it off, and before I pull it tight, you go through to form a knot, and that will hold it in place. And that is the first half complete. And now I'm just going to pop a knot in the end again, ready to sew the second half. If you want to see my sewing basics video of how to thread a needle and simple things like putting a knot in, like I just have, I will pop a link in the corner here so you can check that out. We're going to sew this piece exactly the same. So where you've cut this diagonally, this shortest end across the bottom is going to be the middle of the bow where we do our sewing. So going in through this first edge, catching this folded piece here and this bottom corner. Go in for our first stitch, catching all those layers. Come back through for the second. Back in for the third. If you want to, you can pop dots on there with pen to see where you're doing your stitches, but I do mine by eye. I'm just keeping this pinched whilst I remove this clip. To do it by eye, I vision where the centre is, so I'll just put a fold in there so you can see. So this is the centre, and with 6 stitches it means 3 either side, so it will be 1 2 3 1 2 3. And that is how I can see my stitches without actually marking them in place. So we need 3 more, so they'll be now mirroring the first 3, so that's 4, 5 and 6, catching all of those corners like that. And then again, pull it tight to form that pinch. Go through the end. And then before you pull it completely tight, go through that loop once or twice, and that will form a knot and hold it in place. You can trim off the excess thread. And that is the second side. So looking at your ribbon, obviously we done one upside down, or you would have done if you've got a particular patterned ribbon. So flipping them over, you should have your ribbon both the correct way up. And now we're ready to join these in the middle. So I've got my hot glue gun here. Excuse all this mess, this is nail varnish. I accidentally dropped a red nail varnish and it smashed all over my carpet, my bed, everywhere. My hot glue gun was on the side. So I'm just hot gluing these 2 centres together. And I did get all the nail varnish out. I just used nail varnish remover and scrubbed at the carpet and the bed, and it did come out eventually. So we've joined our 2 halves together. I've got here a piece of ribbon 1 centimetre wide by 11 centimetres. I've heat sealed the ends, and I've got a double pronged clip. These are the ones that my daughter liked in her hair, but you can use tooth clips if you like. I'm just going to place some glue around a couple of inches along that ribbon, place it along the underside of the clip, around 1 centimetre just over, push it into the pinch part, over the top, and then just finish lining it over the top of the clip. And I've chosen a ribbon which matches my bow. I just prefer the finished look of a lined clip, but that is completely optional. You don't have to line your clip. And then place that on the underside of my bow. And then for the centre of the bow, I've decided to go for this mirror leatherette because I thought that will bring out the foiling on this ribbon. So that is what I'm going to use. I will pop a link for this in the description below. So what I'm going to do is cut a strip by eye at around 5 or 6 centimetres long and around 1 centimetre wide. I do have templates to cut out centre strips, but I'm quite confident to do this by eye. Just give it a little shine because it's got a few marks on there. And then I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue, just a thin piece, not too much, on the top. And I'm going to use that to cover the join. And then take it round to the underside of the clip and hot glue the two ends down underneath the clip. Now, with this being a shiny leatherette, you might want to add a little bit of super glue on this piece. If I was selling it, I would pop super glue under here just because this might peel away with hot glue being a shiny surface. But as this is for my daughter, I'm happy to just use the hot glue for now. And then just flip your bow over. And then you can see your finished hair bow using just 2 pieces of 20 centimetres of ribbon. So 40 centimetres of ribbon altogether, and that makes this gorgeous bow. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you press the bell button, that will turn on notifications. If you've got any questions, pop them into the comments below. Bye for now.